This movie has an after credit scene that sets up Kong versus Godzilla, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you my review for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Spoiler warning, of course. This movie just came out this past weekend. I saw it Sunday, I believe, and I'm just now getting to the actual review. I had a friend in town this weekend, so I wasn't really able to do some stuff, but now I'm back. So this is my review for the movie. Here are some things that I liked. Overall, I thought the action was pretty good. For all the things that people hated about Godzilla that came out in 2014, this movie kind of bumped up and kind of improved on. I enjoyed Godzilla 2014, but I understand why people didn't. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, but I understood that a lot of the old Godzilla movies didn't really have a whole lot of Godzilla in them. So that was just the modern, Godzilla movie for me. This one, that they bumped up the action. We actually get to see a lot of the action with Godzilla in it. So I think that was one of the good things about the movie. The story wasn't bad either. Basically, it was it ran in time. So the first Godzilla came out in 2014. This is set in 2019, so it's 5 years later after, Godzilla had that fight in the first movie and basically leveled part of the United States. This is just a continuation of the organization Monarch discovering more of these titans, or what they called them in the film, and basically kind of sort of waking them up. It's based around Vera Farmiga's character. I forget the character's name, but she basically goes and starts waking up. Her plan is to start waking up these titans because they ruled the earth before humans got here, and since we're basically destroying the earth, she wants to wake them up because they're going to restore natural order. So the story wasn't actually bad, and obviously Godzilla is here now. He's out and about. So I didn't think the story was all that bad. Another thing that I thought that they did pretty well, for as much focus that they put on the humans in the first Godzilla movie, they did a pretty good job of focusing on the humans, on the humans that framed the story for this film, and the monsters. Because again, we get Vera Farmiga's character, we get Millie Bobby Brown's character Madison, and then we get oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the actor's name, but her husband and dad. They're working. She works with Monarch. She starts waking up the monsters, so we start learning more and more about these monsters as they start breaking out. Now, obviously, through the course of the movie, we come to find out that this is her plan. This is her plan to start waking them up so they can restore order. And so by doing that, we get to learn about some of the monsters here and there. Godzilla ends up fighting one. Early on, we're introduced to Mothra. I didn't know that Mothra and Godzilla were like cool. They're tight. She's the queen of the monsters. Godzilla was once the king of the monsters. That relationship was kind of interesting, because I was like, oh shit, I would have thought that Mothra was fighting Godzilla, but I guess not. Since they frame the story, they do a good job of focusing on that, but still having enough action in the film where it doesn't get boring. So that's a good job. They did a good job with that. One of the other things that was interesting as well was just the fact that, Godzilla looked beatable. Once they woke up King Ghidorah, or Ghidorah, obviously old Godzilla lore knows him as King Ghidorah. But once King Ghidorah kind of woke up and started fucking everything up, and at one point he was king of the monsters because he basically defeated Godzilla. Godzilla had to go back to like his little home under the water and start absorbing the radiation. Who knows how long that would have taken for him to come back full strength though. But once Ghidorah did that, and he started basically controlling the other monsters to destroy everything, their plans kind of went out the window, because she was like, this wasn't the plan, and the evil British guy was like, well, you know, this is how it worked out. This is how it shaped out. So just let it run its course. Now, with all of that being said, let's move on to some of the things that I didn't like. There were some stupid decisions made with Vera Farmiga's character and Millie Bobby Brown's character, Madison. There were some decisions made in the movie where Madison would run off with the little echo, with the frequency thing, because Vera Farmiga created like a frequency thing to tap into the monsters, to make them docile or make them aggressive or something, you know, stuff like that. She ran off with it, but she, you know, would leave this one frequency playing that would make the monster super aggressive, and they would try to destroy it. Or Vera's character would leave her alone or make this other decision. Once she made the decision, hey, this needs to be done, we need to let them kind of restore order and everything like that. There were some decisions where it just made, I was sitting in the theater like, why? But it didn't detract from the overall quality of the film. And it's unfortunate that this film didn't really open big here, at least. It actually had a pretty disappointing opening. I think it opened to like 50 million this past weekend. They were probably expecting it, or probably wanted it to do closer to 100 million. But I think it opened to over 150 million overseas. So I'm not really sure how don't quote me on those numbers, but I'm not really sure how those shake out to, you know, where they want it to be at. But it's a good film. I think there were just some decisions that were made with Madison and Vera's character that could have been done a little bit better, but it was probably like stupid for the sake of plot. And otherwise, you know, it's an overall good film. Again, they do a really good job of focusing on the humans that frame the story, but they give us that action that people were complaining about not seeing in the first Godzilla movie. So we get more of Godzilla, we get more of the monsters, and we get more fighting. And I think I only recently watched Kong Skull Island, but I think that they do a really good job of world building with Monarch and everything like that, and hinting towards Kong and Godzilla fighting in their movie, because that's what they've been building towards. They've been building towards a Kong versus Godzilla movie. One thing, before I watched Kong Skull Island, I wondered how they were gonna make Godzilla versus Kong, because Godzilla is definitely tall as fuck, right? He's definitely big as hell. But Kong and Kong Skull Island didn't look all that big. But at one point in the film, John C. Reilly's character says Kong's family was killed by the little monsters on that island, but he's still young and he's growing. And that film took place in like the 70s. So, you know, fast forward 40, 50 years, damn, it'll probably be 50 years later when Kong versus Godzilla comes out, because I'm guessing it's going to come out in like 2020 or something like that at the earliest. But I imagine that he's going to be much bigger, so he'll probably be about the same size as Godzilla. But what I was talking about in the opener of the video, at one point during the film, when Godzilla was absorbing the radiation to kind of get back to full strength, he was in hibernation. They didn't know how long that was going to take. Ghidorah and the other monsters are destroying the Earth. So they say, look, we need to speed up this process. Take a nuke, blow it up. He's going to absorb all that energy and then come back. Be able to come back way quicker. They do that. Ken Watanabe's character sacrifices himself in the explosion to actually detonate it. You know, Godzilla comes back supercharged. Comes back fucking everything up. And he goes nuclear, and they say look, he's gonna go nuclear, so we need to get out of the blast radius. So I'm thinking, damn, God, they really gonna blow Godzilla up? But that's not it. Godzilla starts emitting. At one point, he kind of looks defeated, but then Vera Farmiga takes the little sonic emitter and distracts Ghidorah, drives him away from Godzilla to at least give him time to get back up. And so at that point, he's gone from the blue light up effects to red, and he's emitting nuclear blast, shockwaves. So he's doing that, and he just fries Ghidorah, just burns him alive, he rips off one of his heads, and then he starts, frying him alive. There's a post-credit scene where the evil British dude, he comes across somebody that has that head of Ghidorah, and they buy it. So I'm thinking that they're gonna reform or kind of clone Ghidorah from that head, and Godzilla and Kong are gonna come together to fight Ghidorah at the end of their movie. Because obviously Kong and Godzilla fighting, is that really gonna be the whole plot of a movie? Probably not, because essentially they're both two monsters that only protect their territory. And so they're probably gonna run into each other, be like, what the fuck? This is a new creature that I haven't seen before. It's probably aggressive. It's probably here to rule over my land. That's not gonna happen. So they're probably gonna fight, but then once they unleash Ghidorah again, they're gonna be like, well, we probably should. They're probably gonna realize they should probably stop fighting each other and take that thing out. So, and who knows what type of monster they're gonna create with that DNA that they get from Ghidorah. They might just clone Ghidorah, or they might just create some whole new abomination that they unleash upon the world. Who knows? I'm just really spitballing right now. But all in all, I thought the movie was fine. I suggest you go see it if you haven't. Obviously, not a whole lot of people did if it opened to like 50 million. It's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie, and the action is worth it. The human element and the story revolving around them is heartfelt, with Millie Bobby Brown's relationship with her dad and relationship with her mom and all that stuff. That's actually really, really heartfelt, and it doesn't detract away from the story as much as you think it would. So yeah, that's my review on Godzilla King of the Monsters. I say go see it, go check it out. It's entertaining. I'm gonna get some more videos up for you guys as well. And yeah, check out the other videos, and I hope you guys enjoy it.